Hello everybody! So in today's video I'm going to be talking about Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, which undoubtedly has the longest title in the DCU, but is it the best movie within it? So personally, I thought Birds of Prey was brilliant. It was really refreshing compared to the usual DCU films we get, which are very often subpar, very disappointing, and just not fun at all to watch. Whereas Birds of Prey was exciting, it was fun, it was dramatic, it was funny, it had a great balance between humour and drama. The casting was brilliant in my opinion. I thought the performances were spot on, really engaging, especially Ewan McGregor as Roman Sionis, who was the villain of this movie. Overall, I just thought it was a really spectacular job and a movie that was definitely really great to watch. So the main premise of this film is Harley Quinn basically reevaluating her life after the Joker breaks up with her and deciding what to do next. So the movie starts off with this really fun cartoon sequence sort of catching us up to where we are at the start of the movie, and then it goes on to show Harley Quinn sort of dealing with the breakup and figuring out who is Harley Quinn without the Joker. So I won't be giving any spoilers about the movie, but essentially the plot focuses on Harley realising that now she's not with the Joker, she's lost his protection, and figuring out who's after her, essentially, which turns out to be quite a lot of people. And she's basically figuring out, how on earth am I supposed to survive this now, after she makes a really dumb mistake at the start, which I'm not going to spoil, but it's very funny to watch. Without a doubt, the best parts of this movie are the numerous fight scenes. They are incredibly well choreographed and the music put to them is dramatic and engaging and really hypes up the scene to make you feel fully involved in what's going on. There are some brilliant sort of slow motion parts of the fight. They change the angles to get a really cool visual effect from the fights. It's not just the normal sort of boring repetitive action scenes you find in movies. This movie really showcases what an action scene and a fight scene can be at its peak, and in my opinion, despite sort of being a comical movie, the action scenes are really dramatic and really, really powerful to watch. Like, I was sitting in a cinema and I found myself repeatedly going, ooh, oof, ah, kind of thing, because it just looked so painful and so cool and so real on the camera, especially because of the cinematography to get it there, with like the zoomed in on certain parts, the panning effects, the slow motion effects, and the music, like I said, really builds the hype and builds the emotion. And throughout the movie, even not just with the fight scenes, the music is spot on to really keep driving through the pace. So at no point does the movie feel rushed or does the movie feel slow. It feels absolutely where it should be throughout the entire movie, which is really impressive. So Birds of Prey has a runtime of 1 hour 49, which is pretty standard for a regular feature-length movie, but is a lot shorter than most superhero movies tend to be. However, with this movie it really works because, like I said, the pacing was great throughout, and I think if they tried to drag it on longer, it wouldn't have had the same impact as it does. And also for me personally, I prefer shorter movies. I find that they keep my attention more, and I find that if a movie is too long, unless it gets the pacing absolutely perfect every minute of the movie, I'm gonna get distracted and lose focus on it. Whereas with Birds of Prey, at no point did I feel like I wanted to glance around anywhere but the screen. I wanted to be so involved in the action that was going on screen, and yeah, the runtime was definitely a great choice for this movie, and it really worked. Another one of my favourite things about this movie that's quite different from most movies within this genre is the fact that it was a very female-led cast. So we had Harley Quinn obviously as the main character, and then also featured Dinah Lance, Huntress, a little girl called Cassie Kane, and a cop called Montoya, and they were the sort of, apart from Roman Sionis, who is the main villain, they were the main focus of this movie, and there were other supporting characters, but it was really cool to see that we could have a movie with loads of female characters come in and be such a great movie, because it sort of goes against what some people have said about superhero movies, that they should remain a man's world, that they're male-led for a reason. And this movie shows that actually a female-led superhero movie can be really effective and can be really cool. So yeah, it was really great to see that, very different to what you usually see in this kind of genre of movie, and very empowering for me as a woman to be able to watch that and see so many cool moves and cool things done by women on screen. It reminds you that, yeah, women are awesome, you know. So Birds of Prey is undoubtedly a great movie, but to answer the question as to whether it's the best movie in the DCU, we need to examine some of the others. So I would say that most of the movies in the DCU are a flop, and you may not agree with me, but to be honest, a lot of the fans do. A lot of the movies didn't perform particularly well compared to how they should have been. So for me, there are 3 movies in the DCU that I would consider to be up there, and that is Wonder Woman, Shazam, and Aquaman. Now, Aquaman did pretty well and seemed to receive quite a lot of acclaim from the fans, but for me personally, I would say it's a good movie, but it's not a great movie. So I'm ruling that out for the purpose of this video. So for me, Birds of Prey is up against Shazam and it's up against Wonder Woman. Now, Birds of Prey essentially does the same thing as Shazam, which is be a comical movie. However, it does it in a much more dark and gritty way. So with Shazam, where it was quite child-friendly, it had, child as the main character, and it had quite a few children in the cast. The jokes were humorous, but they weren't too adult. However, Birds of Prey is a 15-rated movie. It has quite a lot of swearing in it. A lot of the jokes are a bit more adult-focused, and it feels a lot more gritty and dark than Shazam did. Now, whilst I did really like Shazam, and I do prefer, in general, movies that are focused at a younger age, just because I really like kid movies, what can I say? But I did feel that Birds of Prey was more funny, was more humorous, and was more engaging than Shazam. So while Shazam is a great movie, in my opinion, I would say Birds of Prey beats it out, just on the basis of being more funny when it's a funny movie. So now we have to compare Birds of Prey to Wonder Woman, which is difficult as they are two very different movies. So Wonder Woman is your typical superhero movie in that it showcases superpowers. However, with Birds of Prey, Harley Quinn A, doesn't have powers, and B, isn't a superhero, she's a villain. So throughout the movie we have one instance where superpowers are used, and that is it, which makes it kind of weird thinking of it as a superhero movie. However, Wonder Woman has loads of instances of it, has a whole society of super strong Amazonian women, and yeah, it's a lot more superhero-y, essentially. It also is a lot more dramatic because Wonder Woman isn't trying to be a comedy, and although there are a few funny moments in it, the ultimate purpose of Wonder Woman is to be dramatic and action-packed and adventurous, and you really get that throughout, which personally is what I expect from the superhero genre. So for me, whilst Birds of Prey is a great movie, which I really enjoyed, I would say, in terms of being the best movie in the DCU, which is ultimately a cinematic universe for superheroes, I can't possibly rate a non-superhero movie higher than the best superhero movie in the DCU, which is Wonder Woman for me and for most people. So I would say that the best movie in the DCU is Wonder Woman. However, Birds of Prey is a really strong showing in it, and it's one that's definitely going to sort of shape how I picture the DCU, because up until now I hadn't really viewed it as something to be a force to be considered, whereas now I'm thinking actually they're starting to really get the hang of these movies, and I would say that Birds of Prey is kind of similar to where Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy are for me in the Marvel Universe, in that they're great movies, they're comedy movies, and they're never going to be the top ones, but they're certainly going to be up there, because they're not trying to be the best, they're just trying to be fun and engaging, and I love that. So I would say Birds of Prey, certainly worth a watch. Head down to your cinema, give it a go. Thanks very much for watching. Please do like this video and drop a comment down below to say what your favourite movie in the DCU is, and subscribe for more videos in the future. Bye bye.